Is Michigan reloading or rebuilding? Welcome to the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. The spring game is over, the transfer portal is closed, and questions still abound for the reigning college football national champions, your Michigan Wolverines. Some say Michigan is starting over, while others say Michigan is doing okay, not exactly a resounding endorsement. Hello, my name is Cliff. With me, as always, is Mac. Mac, I found this article over at Yardbarker by Nicholas Meyer. He said there's 5 burning questions for Sharon Moore, and I thought we could go through those. Are you ready for that?
Nicholas Meyer, he's the guy who directed Star Trek 2.
I heard that somewhere. Star Trek
Yeah,
2 and Star Trek 6.
there are 6 of those. Whatever.
Yes.
Moving on.
But Star Trek 2 is the superior movie. It is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Got it. All right.
But here we go. Question number 1. Is Alex Orji the answer at quarterback? Now, we know it's pretty much down to Orji and Warren, right? So, what do you think?
Yeah, so I mean this as positively as I can possibly say it. Obviously, Michigan's in a whole new era of football, right? We got a new coach. We got largely a new staff, even though a lot of them were just kind of promoted at Michigan. So they still, are familiar with the program. Got a lot of new players on the offense, or at least not a lot of new players, but a lot of new starters on the offense. In my opinion, I still think that Alex Orji represents Michigan's best shot at a 4th straight Big Ten title. Man, there's a real nice ring to that, isn't there? He's an extremely athletic quarterback. He just doesn't quite have the polish of JJ McCarthy, but that's okay. He needs to gain experience. The problem is that he's going to be gaining experience during one of the toughest schedules that I can remember for Michigan since 1902 when Chicago was relevant. I can't even, man. Week 2 is against Texas. They go on the road to Oregon. There's an inside joke there that nobody's going to get. Whatever. And then they go on the road to Ohio State too. So it's a really crappy schedule to be breaking in a fresh quarterback. You don't want to be doing that in those games. That being said, I think that when it comes down to it, the quarterback that he matures emotionally, in confidence, and leadership ability the most before the Texas game, a lot of qualifiers there. I think that quarterback represents Michigan's best shot at a conference championship. And I do expect that to be Alex Orji. But if we're talking just from a pure talent standpoint, I still think it's Alex Orji, just simply because I'm not entirely sure Davis Warren quite has the abilities that Alex Orji has. In fact, I know he doesn't.
Okay, so we know that Alex Orji may not have had a lot of snaps, but he is the one with the experience now, especially with Tuttle injured. So it just seems to me like he does have that, which is why I think he would be the quarterback.
Hmm.
I also think it's funny, slightly off topic here, that I consistently refer to Orji and Warren, Orji being Alex's last name, Warren being Warren Davis's first name. It's a quirk. It's what I do.
All right.
Question number 2. Can the defense carry the team? Defense wins championships, right? We know this. This should be a given. Plus, the new DC, Wink Martindale, isn't exactly a rookie. So can the defense carry the team?
I think to a point. I don't think people understand that despite losing a ton of talent to the NFL this year, Michigan still returns a bunch of depth chart players from last year who got playing time in because Michigan was blowing out 9 of the 12 opponents that they played last year. Shout out to Maryland. Nice job, guys. They do return some decent experience despite some transfers in the secondary. They have a lot of experience coming back on the D line, especially. This all being said, defense might win championships, but I wouldn't necessarily want to ask my defense to hold every single opponent under 10 or 20 points a game just because the offense can't get their crap together. I mean, it takes an extremely mentally tough defense to do that week in, week out with a good offense scoring you points, let alone an offense that can't do anything. Now, I'm not saying that Michigan's offense isn't going to do anything, but we'll just leave that there. That all being said, I think that there are 2 teams in the country that year in, year out can generally field a defense capable of carrying their team all season long. The first being Iowa, shout out Kirk Ferentz. The second being Michigan. I just think that, coming back to what I said about the schedule, it's too difficult. It's too difficult for Michigan to rely on a perfect defense or even as close to perfect as they can get. I do expect them to be really good this year. they're gonna need to score points too. Absolutely.
They're going to need to score points to win, you think?
It's possible.
Oh, the defense. The defense will need to score points to win.
No, I meant the offense. I
You meant
just
the.
don't think that's stupid.
That's all right. Announcers who get paid millions of dollars a year say the same thing. So
This is true.
this is true.
Unironically, even.
Question number 3. Who will replace Rod Moore? Rod Moore, Michigan's star safety from 2023, suffered a torn anterior cruciate ligament, which we all know is the ACL, during spring practice on March 24th, 3 weeks before the spring game. Surgery was April 25th, and apparently he came through with flying colors. He entered Michigan's Champions Circle on May 3rd, which is Michigan's version of NIL, which says to me maybe they expect him to come back this year. So does he need to be replaced? And if he does, who's going to replace him?
So yeah, he needs to be replaced. The guy tore his whatever you just called it, and
ACL.
yeah, the other name sounded
Anterior cruciate ligament.
Ouch! Stop it. That hurts my brain to even comprehend.
I might not even be pronouncing that right.
Probably aren't. Anyway, yeah, he needs to be replaced. Obviously, he needs to be replaced. Tearing an ACL gets you out for 8 to 12 months just to try and rehabilitate it back to where you're not walking like Quasimodo. Let alone get back to being an elite football player like he is. So he's going to need to be replaced. Makari Page and Jaden McBurrows seem to be the guys that are going to replace him. Makari Page has actually already been there for 4 years, so it's not like he's a raw talent or anything. I expect he'll be able to fill in just fine. They are a bit light on the depth chart, so they might want to bring in some portal additions, possibly even a few of them if they can. But they do have Zeke Berry and Brandon Hillman who can fill out the 2 deep a bit. So, they do have some players there. Those are both sophomores. It's something, but I still think that they could benefit from a bit of experience in the portal.
Question number 4 is about the kicking game. Does the kicking game need portal help? Now, we saw in the spring game that missed kick, I think it was a field goal. And I hate to judge a kid by one kick, but nevertheless, people are saying the kicking game might need some help. They did pick up Dominic Zavada, who committed on April 26th. Is he the help they're looking for?
Yeah, I definitely think he's the help that they needed for sure. He's a solid kicker. I mean, he's from Arkansas State. He was on the Lou Groza Award watch list in 2023. The guy only missed 1 field goal in his freshman season, and that was a 51-yarder. I mean, that's impressive. I can hit like a 51-incher. I feel pretty good about that. Although apparently he did struggle a little bit through 2023. But that being said, he still hit about 77% of his field goals. So I still think he's definitely someone who can be counted on for the most part to get Michigan points if needed. So yeah, I think that they're pretty much good there.
Question number 5. Will the running game smash like last season? Now, Sharon Moore was famous for starting that phrase smash as he's talking about his team. But it's all about Don, isn't it? Donovan Edwards. After the spring game, even Donovan said that as a team and offense-wise, that yes, they were where they need to be, but they do have to get better, which is what you always want to hear your players say. If you ever hear a player say, no, we're fine, we don't need to do anything, then you have a problem. When you hear a good player say we have to get better, to me, that's always promising. So what do you think? Will the running game smash like last season?
Every time I hear the Don, I keep thinking about that call from the 2022 Ohio State game. Gus Johnson, Donovan Edwards. Whoa, can they catch him? No, 85 yards. The Don. All right. Anyway, yes, I think
Gus is the best.
Shout out Gus. Anyway, yes, I think that the running game is going to smash. And honestly, in my opinion, I think it's all on the offensive line, not the running backs. We know Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullings are both more than ready to pick up from last year's success. I think it's whether or not the offensive line can still open up the holes. Judging from the spring game, I think so. They look pretty good, but that's one of those position groups that I don't think you really fully understand how capable they are until the season starts. The rumors that I'm hearing out of spring camp, though, are very positive, despite the fact that maybe they might be a little light on the depth chart, especially if they were to incur some injuries. But overall, I think the answer is yes. Michigan's running game is still going to smash.
And there you have it. 5 burning questions for Sharon Moore after the spring game. What do you think? Is there another question you would ask? If there is, drop it in the comments and we'll see if we can find the answer for you. In the meantime, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. We do a live show Monday nights at 8. Join us for that. And Mac, take us out.
This is the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show.
Sam Hartman's looking downfield for Adrian.
Oh! Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.